Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Doug.
And I'm Lorenzo.
And this is Good Suffering. Now, normally on this show, we talk about a movie that I've seen.
But I haven't.
But we've got a few things to talk about before that. Even before we get to horror news.
Before horror news.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm keeping you on your toes.
Thank you.
By the time this comes out, we will have released one or maybe possibly two YouTube videos. So definitely go onto the Good Suffering a horror podcast YouTube channel, which hopefully I'll link in the description of this episode, and you can find it on all of our social media. Check those out. We're really kind of limited to a certain structure on here, and we are trying to use YouTube as just a way to, kind of open it up and talk about horror in different ways that we don't due to the format of this podcast. Also, it's been kind of a big week for me, man.
Big week.
Yeah. You know how a lot of people get really excited about Shark Week?
Yeah.
I get the last of my little, kind of burst of that ever, because this past week was the last ever Sharknado week. Yeah. And me and my monster movies.
Yeah.
Me and my big shark movies. I've seen quite a bit. Although as of this recording, I still have not watched the last Sharknado.
Oh, really?
It's the last one I have to watch. I got right up to it, and then I just had to do stuff for this podcast, and I'm going away in a few days. And
blame the podcast.
I know. I blame you. But yeah, I'm going to just list off all of these movies. All of these are new watches for me too, man. I've been going through a hell of a lot of movies. I missed a few that I'd already seen, like Ice Sharks and Ghost Shark. Ghost Shark is awesome. I think they were playing Ghost Shark is great. He comes out of the slip and slide. It's awesome in a cup of water. Yeah. Oh my god. And then I think they were playing Robo Shark too, who follows me on Twitter.
Robo
Shark follows me on Twitter.
Nice.
He's a cool guy. But let's go through these, and I'll just say a few words about the ones that I at least really thought I liked. So,
all right.
So Open Water 2 and 3. Open Water 2, no sharks. Don't know why they played it. Maybe just because it's an open water movie. It was just people stranded out in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. Open Water 3, besides a great jump scare at the end. The final thing in the movie is a great jump scare. Ozark Sharks, Lake Placid, the final chapter, and Lake Placid Legacy. Megalodon, Zombie Shark, super interesting. Santa Jaws, new movie for 2018. Holy crap, what a wild ride. He's got red eyes like reindeer's nose. Whenever he comes, you hear sleigh bells. No. Whenever he, appears.
Okay.
You hear sleigh bells.
Yeah.
And also there's a little Santa hat on his fin as he comes up out of the water.
Again, I thought that sentence was ending differently. He's got a Santa hat on his
Toxic Shark, Malibu Shark Attack, Frenzy, which is another new 2018 movie, Swamp Shark, Atomic Shark, Trailer Park Shark, which reunites a couple of cast members from American Pie, actually, Tara Reid and Ian Thomas Curtis, I think his name
good.
is. Yeah, it was cool.
Love American Pie.
Yeah. Nightmare Shark. Great. It's about survivors of a shark attack who are all haunted by a shark in their dreams.
That can actually kill them.
Yes.
Like Freddy.
Yeah, it's great.
That's cool.
Which another one with Ian Thomas Curtis, if I'm saying his name right. Remembering the order of those names.
He's an assassin.
Mississippi River Shark Attack. Empire of the Sharks, which is post-apocalyptic. Finally got to watch Sharktopus, which is Roger Corman produced and was really great. I watched Sharktopus versus Terracuda, which is part pterodactyl and part barracuda. Great. And then Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf, which is part killer whale and part wolf. Two-headed shark attack. Three-headed shark attack. Four-headed shark attack. No, I'm sorry, not four-headed shark attack. Five-headed shark attack and six-headed shark attack.
Those are movies?
Those are movies.
So two-headed shark.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, wow. I wasn't even the first person to do a Newsroom Milk Hotel reference on this podcast.
I was going to do it before you guys. I didn't want anyone else to do it. I wanted to steal that thunder.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hate that band. Anyway, let's move on.
But yeah, Six-Headed Shark Attack was great because he's kind of shaped almost like a starfish. So, like, he uses his side legs to walk on land. His legs aren't really legs. They're like his shark heads.
Yeah.
And he curves up and then walks on land with his two main heads in front. And then the five-headed shark, one of its heads is its tail.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
How do you know that all these sharks are men? Because you keep saying he. Is it because men are just,
Because men are vicious monsters.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, the last one I have to watch that I DVR'd is obviously The Last Sharknado: It's About Time. And that's called It's About Time, not only because it's a play on, like, oh, finally, it's the sixth one, but also there's time travel. I think Benjamin Franklin fights sharks in this one.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. There's dinosaur sharks and robot sharks. It's dragon sharks, I think, too.
Cool.
I'm so excited for it.
I remember that part of history where there were dragons.
Yeah, dragon
sharks.
Yeah. So it's been quite an eventful little Shark Week for me, man. Wow. It's been awesome.
Ask me how my week has been.
How's your week been?
Stressful.
I didn't get to talk about it on the last episode, if I even saw it in time for the last episode, but I saw Slender Man, and it was No, I didn't mention it in the last one, but it's hot garbage.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, big. No.
Did you ever watch the documentary?
Yeah. Early this year it came out, right? Or last year maybe?
I think it might have been last, but yeah.
I caught that. It's good for what it is.
I've been wanting to watch it.
It's okay. It's weird. The Slenderman thing just weirds me out. I don't know. People like really believing in it and stuff. It's weird. It's just
I certainly
strange.
did at first, but for like a day.
Yeah.
And
not enough to like try and kill your friend.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I also caught last night. I caught Searching, which while it's not technically a horror movie, is a pretty strong thriller that I'm just gonna throw out a hard, high recommendation for. Really, really, really good. Keeps you on the edge of your toes. And if you're a horror fan, if you just like, the stakes being high, Searching is great. But okay, let's get on to that horror news.
Here it is, everybody. Horror news.
Okay. They are shopping around the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre right now, and Legendary Pictures is very interested for not only a new film, but also a television series based off the original.
What?
And Legendary definitely has the money for it because they do the Godzilla movies and they did the Kong Skull Island. They're doing they did the Lost in Space series for Netflix. They also know their horror because they did Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat and Krampus, which are both pretty great little horror films. So they might do really well with Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You know who should be the showrunner behind that?
Who?
Brian Fuller. He did Hannibal.
Oh, well,
I just feel like that kind of vibe. Not the same aesthetic, but I just want more Hannibal stuff. And if I can't get that, then
you'll take Texas.
Yeah.
More, at least cannibal stuff, at least.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark film began shooting this week.
Oh, I did not know that.
For CBS Films, yeah. So we'll be definitely getting that.
Some stills, hopefully.
Yeah, something. God, I'm so excited for it. There's some plot details out. I really didn't want to look at them just because, I want to know as little as possible going into it because Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a huge part of like my childhood and horror, and that's something that you can catch in an upcoming YouTube video. Maximum, I am so fucking excited for this one. Maximum Overdrive is finally getting an American Blu-ray release. I can retire my Italian copy under a different name, even like Bravito or something like that. I got it up there. Maximum Overdrive is Stephen King's only directed film, and the second I get my hands on a copy, that's my next pick for this movie, for this podcast rather, because I love it, and it's nuts. It is just pure, like, Stephen King at the height of his just cocaine addiction, just throwing anything at the wall in this film. Jason Blum has announced that the sequels to Happy Death Day and The Gallows have already been filmed.
Whoa.
Already done, yeah.
Wow.
The Gallows is supposed to be coming out. Gallows 2 is supposed to be coming out at the end of this year.
But Happy Death Day?
Yeah, already. So quick, right?
Did you ever see it?
Yeah, I saw it the night it came out.
Oh, you know what? Yes, we went over this.
Yeah.
I still really want to see it.
Maybe we'll do that for the show. Well, it was one of the first. That was one of the first. That was one of the first things that when we started brainstorming for this show, and we were sitting in Starbucks in town. Remember that?
Oh,
you were like, "Oh, we got to do Happy Death Day, man."
Yeah.
So yeah.
I abstained from watching it specifically so that we could do it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sweet. Funko is doing some Masters of the Universe style horror figures. They're doing Freddy and Jason and Pinhead and Leatherface. Somebody else too. I can't remember the fifth. But they're doing remember the old Masters Universe figures that are kind of like bent? You remember from the 80s. You know what they look like.
No. I'm picturing He-Man.
Yeah, but do you remember his original action figure? Because there were action figures before there was a show. but they're doing that style of figure
I
for a
had-
bunch of horror
I had
icons.
He-Man action figures, but they were like, our time.
The newer ones,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't think of that.
Fair. And then finally, the last little piece of news: Bruce Campbell is back as Ash
Baby.
for the upcoming Evil Dead video game that'll be coming out. I don't know if he's just doing the voice or he might be doing some mocap for it too.
That'd be so cool.
But he is totally back, at least as the voice of Ash.
That's so cool.
So we get a little bit more. And
Yeah,
I
this
like.
it won't die.
I've only played one Evil Dead game. I think it was Evil Dead Resurrection or Redemption or something. The one that came out for the Xbox 360 or just the plain Xbox,
It's the
whichever the most
Xbox.
recent Evil Dead game to come out was. And that was super fun. I remember loving that as a kid because I was like in the height of my Evil Dead, Army of Darkness phase. So I'm super excited about all that.
Me too. I'm a big fan of Ash now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. That was my
Yeah.
my pick.
So today we're talking about Tom Holland's 1988 film Child's Play. This is the birth of horror icon Chucky.
Chucky. Yes. Good. Glad we're here doing this.
Yeah.
So happy.
Uh-huh.
All right. Time for. What is it?
The IMDb synopsis. Non-sponsored, right?
Not sponsored by IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. A single mother gives her son a much sought after doll for his birthday. I said that weird. Only to discover that it is possessed by the soul of a serial killer. Gosh dang it, I love it.
Yeah?
I'm not gonna lie. The whole possessed, like, she doesn't really know that it's possessed by the serial killer. At least
Right.
not until later.
Right.
That part's a little washy, but pretty good.
Hey, good
I
for
like
them.
the fact that it mentions a single mother, and we'll get back to that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, let me actually, I'm going to start off, just to let everybody know, and you, the
Oh.
remake of this starts shooting next month.
Yeah.
Oh, you do know, okay.
Much to the chagrin of many.
Yeah.
Many. And I totally understand why. Like, kind of.
Because nobody wants another one. Or even the
Right.
7 that exist.
And it's okay, let's relax here. But it's been, it's a successful series all on its own. The series itself, like all, however many movies, 7 you said, right? It's like,
7 right now.
it's the people at the helm were still involved from the beginning. Not everyone, obviously, but it was still the same showrunners, basically.
Yeah, Don Mancini and David Kirshner.
Exactly. And where are they when they're doing this remake, huh?
I don't know.
Exactly. Nowhere to be found. So it is kind of messed up.
Yeah,
They're
fair.
not involved whatsoever. And they're just trying to make $1. They're just trying to make a bank.
You're right. Well, let's talk about some of the key players in this. Tom Holland, who directed this, we've talked about him in the past with his film Fright Night. That's our 3rd episode. He also directed Thinner and wrote the scripts for Class of 1984, The Beast Within, and Psycho 2, amongst some other films. We've got Chris Sarandon, who's basically the male lead, right, you would say? Back again from
Yeah.
Fright Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that duo.
Don Mancini, who wrote this and continued to write, and does he direct I'm not sure if he directs the sequels.
Mancini.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed on the Child's Play sequels. But he's definitely still writing the stories, I'm pretty sure. He also wrote Cellar Dweller, which is a kind of an obscure monster movie from the mid-'80s that I really like. And he also did episodes of Hannibal and Channel Zero. Which you can recommend Hannibal to people, and I can recommend Channel Zero to people,
I
definitely.
will recommend Hannibal till the day I die.
And produced by David Kirshner, who, besides the entire Child's Play series, also did produce Fright Night and a great movie called Frailty, which we will do at some point on the show, and the Flintstones movie, and also The Pagemaster, which I remember both of those films very fondly from my childhood.
Pagemaster, yeah.
Yeah, it was like part live action,
Okay.
part animated.
That's
Yeah,
that
do you
one.
remember that?
I had a book of that too. I love that.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And then the big role being Brad Dourif as Chucky.
Who's that? Oh, Chucky?
Yeah, and also I guess Charles Lee Ray, is that his name in the movie?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I like how they used a 3-name
Yeah.
serial killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not much of an assassin, but hey,
Man.
still in there.
And he's in everything. He's Billy Bibbit and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and he's in like Heaven's Gate and Dune and Blue Velvet and Mississippi Burning. I'm just Graveyard Shift, Exorcist 3. He's the Gemini killer. He's in so much. He's also in one of my favorite episodes of The X-Files. He's got like a really long, strong like character acting career. And
Yeah.
he's just one of those guys I love, and I love seeing him pop up and stuff. Besides this,
I was gonna say you're giving us a lot of praise.
I love Brad Dourif.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, what did you think of this?
So you kind of alluded to the fact that you apparently still didn't like it. Okay, take that as a no. So my feelings towards Child's Play, it's not as bad as you, Doug, might believe it to be. However, I have to say that it's not great either. And it's what makes it not great is just that it has so many points where it could really build on, and they just don't. In fact, this movie was originally going to be a satire, primarily. But then
It would have worked a lot better.
Yeah, and it got just swept under the rug and kind of became more of a horror film first.
I think that's what makes me that's the problem I have with it, is it just doesn't commit to either being like very serious or very weird.
Right.
It doesn't go
Yeah.
in either direction enough for it to really land anything.
Even though like the more comical parts, like they land really well. I think it's pretty funny. I think surprisingly, like this is a very funny movie. Even outside of just Chucky, just like the banter between like the human people, like it's funny, but it doesn't really stick to one thing ever.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, the satirical work would have been much better with this, because it starts off, you know, with Andy in a the good guy's outfit, you know, Chucky's outfit essentially. He's watching Good Guys cartoon. He's pouring a bowl of cereal with Good Guys cereal. You know, it's already just spilling all this marketing stuff at you for children. It's the 1980s. You know, all this just exorbitant amount of marketing and merchandise.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool, great. We're gonna get that. I mean, this is about a kid's toy that turns evil. This is fantastic. I can't wait for this really gripping critique, and then it just never comes. Yeah.
They drop a lot of the Good Guys threads like halfway through the movie when it just becomes, you know, the mom trying to prove that Chucky's real, and
Yeah.
you know, they take the kid.
It's upsetting.
It becomes just almost too personal, too much of a contained story.
Right.
Well, I also think this is super cheesy. I think there's a lot of really cheesy moments. I think there's a lot of Shining ripoffs in this movie, especially like obviously kid in a bowl cut running around. You know, a lot of beige walls and whatnot. They've got like, I don't know if you noticed this because you don't really know the names of the actors, but when Chris Sarandon and Brad Dourif are on the screen in the beginning as they're rolling the credits, their names come over right as there's shots of the both of them, and it just felt like almost like Three's Company or something like that, like where it's like, oh hey neighbor, and then like it shows like the name of the actor. Like it's just like there's too much. There's that cheesy close up of like Chucky's face right at the beginning, like when he gets the doll.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just so many things where I was just like, oh come on,
Even the
man.
first death was really cheesy.
Oh my god!
It's unbearably
One little
cheesy.
knock,
Yeah.
and she's just like,
And she stumbles
all the way across
the way
the
back.
room.
Not only that, but crashes through a window.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And I normally
really
love that.
upsetting.
I love that stuff, but like the fact that those moments happen in a movie that overall can't commit to that tone, that really just ticks me off.
Yeah. But can I say though that I feel like I'm really starting to be involved in the horror world. Like this is pretty cool for me personally, watching another Tom Holland movie and having what's his name, Chris Sarandon in it too. You know, it's cool. I feel like these are people I know. These are people that I met before, and I'm seeing them again.
Have you seen Princess Bride?
Yeah.
He's also Prince Humperdinck. Chris Sarandon, the prince. He's got the really
He's got
awful
the-
long crown
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
the red suit. That's him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, plug for Criterion Collection, Princess Bride, coming out very soon through Criterion.
Yep. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored again. I wish.
God, that'd be great.
Yeah, we do enough Criterion here already, right? We've done a few. At least
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby. And I don't know. Maybe just one.
You
Oh,
just,
well,
you just buy a lot
I
of
just buy a
Criterion.
lot of Criterion,
So everything's
yeah, yeah.
Criterion to you.
uh-huh.
I was curious if Chris Sarandon's character was still a vampire in this movie, because that first explosion, like somehow he survives that with the lightning strike and everything.
Man.
And then Andy, he's flat out adorable. You gotta.
He's an
admit
okay
that.
little kid. He's just, you know.
He's adorable. Oh my god. So okay, what did you like about this movie?
Okay.
There's got to be portions that you like.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I did want to talk about some things that I've learned to appreciate as I get older. Great effects and puppet work, like really ahead of its time with just like the way they make a move and stuff. And that wasn't something I was really looking at and critiquing when I was watching this the few times I have when I was like a young teenager.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that I was wondering why that wasn't something that affected you. Because you do love puppets and stuff like that. So
that was really good work.
Yeah,
it was good work. That was the I would say the biggest thing that I was like, wow, this is really good. I thought the acting was pretty good for what it was. Chris Sarandon's always great, and her name escapes me, but the mother was fantastic.
She's great.
It was just fun. Except for like that guy at the end with the mustache who comes in. Was he also a cop?
Oh, the other cop.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Such a throwaway character.
Yeah. But overall, like, it's like everybody's on their A game for just like a story that falls short. And I guess that's what I don't like about it.
And I wonder, like, if they...
Maybe I'm going to love the remake. Maybe I'm just going to fucking love the remake and I'm going to get skewered.
Whatever listeners we have that are big Child's Play fans, we lost them.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. We'll see. We don't want Child's Play fans as listeners.
What? Now they're definitely gone.
We don't like people from Chicago either. Or Cincinnati.
We
or
love
Los Angeles.
People from Chicago.
Or New York.
We love people from New York.
Florida.
Not so. I mean, I got my dad and grandpa out there.
Florida?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. We're in Florida.
We're not talking about my family on this podcast.
Can we dox them on Can we dox them on here right now?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
Speaking of family, though, look at this segue here.
Hey-o.
Hey, I said it not too long ago, so it should be fresh in your mind, folks. But I mentioned how I liked the bio from IMDb saying single mother. Mm-hmm. I think that's one part too that I appreciated, and I was curious if that was something that you were interested in at all. Seeing that opening scene.
Oh, I love that. I love that Dick Boss.
You love him as a character.
Oh, he's the worst.
Yeah,
I love it. I love characters like that because they make me so angry, and it's obviously not real, but it's just like I love it.
You love that it makes you angry.
Just makes me so angry. It's my son's birthday. No, sorry, you have to work.
What about the fact that like she went out into the alleyway to like and got this freaking toy that's clearly been opened or something from this homeless man? A+.
I think that's a thing that really there's a lot of movies from the 80s that really can kind of land the single mother thing. Fright Night's another movie with a single mother. Mm-hmm. And this really, I don't know, maybe Tom Holland was raised by a single mom because you're starting to see this like theme. But I don't know. Like I did like that. They showed that struggles. Like she's working, she's trying to balance. Like how do I raise this kid properly and also keep what I've got and keep moving forward.
Yeah, that's another thing that I loved about this movie too. But they didn't really build up on it. I mean, the first time that the first death, right? It's the woman is having a babysitter. I guess it's like his auntie something, Maggie or something like that. Whatever it is. She's the mom's working, and that's when it happened. He's basically unsupervised. Chucky's taking advantage of that and killing the fucking babysitter. And then as it happens later, she drops Andy off to school, and then he just like dips, like because Chucky's telling him to do this. It's just all this outside influence.
That's when he goes after his like old partner, right?
Yeah, and then blows up the house, the little crack house looking place. Yeah. It's like the mom's not around. The mom doesn't get the opportunity to be there for her kid because she has to work. She has to support. And I think that was such a cool angle to take the movie, but they didn't really.
Does this mean this is a communist movie?
Would you say? I don't know. You feel like you're more.
I don't know. Let's go to our convenient local communist expert Taylor.
Yeah, our producer.
Is this a communist movie?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, the main female character is a single mother who is trying very hard to, survive in a capitalist economy in the 80s. This is actually right at the height of Reaganism, right? 88? Is that when he gets his... No, that's when does George I get elected?
Man, I don't know.
Is that 88?
I like history. George Bush.
Is the
So yeah, you're right
Yeah,
at the
wasn't that
end of the
the-
Reagan era, which was just continued by George Bush anyway, just with a little more open war.
Yeah, the bumper
Um,
stickers.
but-
88.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that.
But
So it is.
and she's trying to
communist,
survive
definitely.
in this world, and ultimately her kid is almost seduced by this doll. You know,
seduced.
because you know, she's not really there for him as much as she can be. You notice a lot of what happens goes on when she's not around because she's got to work so damn hard.
Yeah.
Because we don't have
Even
you know,
the opening-
protections for single mothers, so therefore is a communist adjacent.
Anti-consumerism at the very least.
Anti-consumerism, at least.
Not the same.
Listen,
If it were
man.
communism, would you like it more?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's a communist
Okay,
film
it's
then.
communist.
love it.
Like even that opening, it's so
I mean,
sweet. Like he's like
some of
making
the-
her breakfast.
Some of the
know,
movies,
she's-
some of the movies I have on my perfect communist list are really just like anti, you know, consumerist or anti.
Texas definitely is though.
Oh no, Texas definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie.
So is The Shining, but you know.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not here talking about. You keep trying to divert. Listen, folks. I'm trying to keep this, you know, this train running.
I texted you before. I'm like, you're gonna have to take the reins on this one, man.
All I'm doing really is just trying to steer us back on course, man. And you're killing
That's
me. Here.
fine.
You're killing me. All
That's
right.
fine.
Let's talk about Child's Play. Let's talk about Chucky.
Okay.
All right, Chucky is an iconic slasher kind of, you know, horror movie person. He's up there with Freddy. He's up there with you know, Boogeyman, Michael Myers. He's up there with Jason. What do you think about that? Like, you knowing that like this is the movie, you've seen a
These-
couple of the other ones.
I have seen this one. I have seen Bride of Chucky, and I have seen Seed of Chucky. I have not seen Child's Play 2 or 3,
Which Mancini
or
recorded,
Curse, or
directed.
whatever the most recent one was. Cult of Chucky is
yeah,
the one from last
Mancini
year.
directed Cults and Seed. Just letting you know.
I love hearing you say Seed, by the way.
Seed.
Yeah, God, it's
Yeah, you're welcome.
chills.
And Curse of Chucky, he did too.
But Chucky has always been a character who was meant for horror fans that aren't me. Like, I just distinctly remember the marketing for, I think it was Bride of Chucky, where they have like Chucky like blow up a car that like Paris Hilton is in and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
just like, it's just eye-rollingly lame. And
Yeah.
it's just not my thing, and that's really my biggest impression of Chucky, are those little moments like that, and the one-liners and quips. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's almost like it's taking everything I don't like about Freddy Krueger and leaving back everything I do, and just making it a doll.
No, yeah, because I was gonna mention like the quips. That's not
God,
something
that
that's
one-liner
particular.
that Andy says. Speaking of one-liners, this is the end, friend. Right when he burns
Yeah,
up.
when he
oh
lights
my
the match.
God, I was like, no, I hate this. I hate it so much.
He's like, we're friends to the end. You know, like he's doing like the fake, you know, doll voice.
Yeah, the good guys,
Yeah.
you know, voice.
You didn't like that?
No.
I thought that was like one of those corny moments that kind of like landed. You didn't like it? at
No,
all?
I didn't like it at
Oh
all.
my God. So do you think he's Chucky like warranted? Like, do you think he's rightfully up there with all these, you know, iconic characters?
I mean, yeah, just based on popularity and, you know, cultural impact, sure.
I mean, it's funny. It's almost like fan service, but it's not necessarily just fans. It's like just population service.
Yeah, people know Chucky and they've never seen a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say that about any character, but what I mean is like these quips, these really cheesy, corny aspects of the movie. Like, it's not like calling back to previous Chucky films necessarily. It's not calling back to the, you know, history of horror films. It's just saying like, here, like, this is pop culture. Enjoy it. This is funny. This is dumb. Just enjoy this character. Whereas, I don't know. I mean, is Halloween all that smart? All that?
I mean, some will say it's just a ripoff of Black Christmas, but I think it's great. You know, it's all subjective. There's somebody out there who thinks that these movies are like the best of what horror has to offer.
What, Chucky?
And that's
movies?
fair. Yeah. That's totally fair. You know what I mean? This is an opinion show. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's just my very strong opinion.
Yeah.
But you know, I respect anybody who just, you know, engages with it. I respect that it's like somebody's thing. Obviously, they've made 7 of these fucking movies, so like somebody out there is watching them, eating them up. They're putting out a
Yeah.
new box set every, you know, 6 months. I get it. It's fine. If people like that, that's what they like. It's just, you know.
I will say though that
I can't erase history based on what I, you know,
though you might
like.
want to.
Though I might certainly want to.
But I mean, so this is like the last, I think, of those main characters that I've seen now. I think I've finally seen all the real big ones because I saw Leatherface now. I've seen who he is. I've seen Pinhead now.
Oh yeah, wow. We've
So,
really been checking them off.
I'm pretty sure I've seen them all now. Like,
Yeah.
who else would I be missing? I'd seen many of the, which ones? Okay, so I've seen Friday, I've seen Nightmare, and I've seen Halloween. I mean, what else? That's it.
Yeah, you've seen Scream.
Yep, all of them.
Yeah, those are all the big ones, all the important ones.
And I gotta say, I think Chucky might be the most interesting, or at least the most creative out of all of them. For me, I'm not
Okay,
saying that's
okay.
necessarily
okay,
truth.
okay.
I don't think that's law, but I think that what I liked a lot was like the POV shots. Now we've seen POV shots from Halloween, like where Michael's just walking around and all that.
And
it's really
Jaws and every slasher movie that came out for like 10 years prior to this movie.
cool. Great, but it's so cool to see it from like such a
Psycho.
small, like a little, like perspective, and cutting back to watching him. He runs really quickly for one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this one shot.
That's got to be his strength, you know what I mean, is the
Yeah.
quickness, because he's just a doll.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think there's room to do a lot more. I'm sure that they, or at least I hope that they kind of played more onto not just POV shots, but just how unique the size or the abilities of this character is. He's literally inanimate object that's animated.
No.
Where everyone else is kind of, I mean, either a demon, some just pure evil boogeyman dude, or like some nightmare dude. But this is like an object that came to life, and I like that. It's pretty cool,
Okay, fair.
especially since I like toys a lot. I don't know. This movie resonated with me a little bit. Single mom, obsessing with toys.
I know a
mom-
couple single moms that are obsessed with toys, if you know what I mean.
Mom trying to do her best to buy me whatever gifts I want, making ends meet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's good.
Okay.
There, I said it. Child's Play is better than you make it out to be.
That's fine. That's fair.
Not necessarily good though, just better than you think.
Okay. I do like that one, like when she's just trying to get a reaction out of the doll and she's like, say something, damn it. And he just goes into the, hi, I like to be hugged.
Right.
Right before, he actually does come to life when she's like, no, I'm going to burn you.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. I liked
was a really good
all
scene.
of that scene. Hands down, that was very well done.
Even like the battery scene is amazing.
It's good.
Or at least like the part. I don't know if is that the same. Yeah, it's like the same scene overall. It's a little bit longer than that part.
Right.
But like when the battery falls out, that's such an awesome scene right there. An awesome moment. Like she sees the batteries on the floor. She looks over at Chucky, and I don't think Chucky's realized that they're the batteries. He's just still sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that shock, that horror. Like it was so cool. And then there was also a cool shot of like just Chucky running in the background when before he kills the babysitter. Like she's just sitting on the couch, and you see his body just strolling past. Like there's some cool stuff in here.
When he turns his head around and then she drops him and he's under the couch,
And he
too.
does that.
That's
really
good tension.
weird
They
moment.
build good tension in that scene. There's good moments, but just overall, it's just not my bag, man.
Yeah, well, sometimes we're wrong, and we have to admit that, right, Doug?
Sometimes, not now.
No, I agree with you. It's not great. You won't hear me say that it's a great movie. It's just you were so angry that we were doing this.
I just never
You-
wanted to watch this movie again.
Well, hey, that's part of the show.
Fair.
You had to see it coming.
You're right. You're right. And I guess this is a good thing to check off. You know what I mean? This is, ultimately about your horror education, and now you're a little more educated.
I am a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I like slashers. Let's do more slasher movies.
Really?
Let's do better slashers.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can give you better slashers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
I
some.
don't even know how much of a slasher this really was. I mean, like the tropes
It's a
are there.
slasher.
The tropes are there, but it's just
Doesn't have a high body count.
Yeah.
But I mean, which of the original slashers do though? Texas.
Yeah.
No high body count. Psycho. No high body count. Friday the 13th is the closest thing to a super high body count, but even Nightmare on Elm Street is not a whole lot of people. Halloween is like not a lot of people either. It's the sequels, it's the
great?
horror sequels and all the knockoffs that really gave it that whole high body count thing. And like Friday the 13th, those sequels like where the trailers were just like you see like almost every kill or dead body and they're just counted off. Hey, look, we're killing 25, 30 people in this movie.
right.
That's what really gave it that high body count idea.
They just had to come up with interesting ways. Like I remember
Right.
like watching this thing about how Freddy had to be like really imaginative about how he killed people, whereas like with Jason, it's just gonna like, what's the next really gruesome way we can kill somebody?
Right. Yeah. Fair. But yeah, we'll do some more slashers. We'll do Just Before Dawn and like Sleepaway Camp. You'll get a kick out of Sleepaway Camp.
It already sounds fun.
Yeah, I like it. It's probably my favorite slasher besides Friday 2.
Whoa, your favorite slasher is
Like just as a pure slasher movie, because like Halloween, I don't know, it's really
I just
tentpole
didn't-
horror.
Didn't know that.
But like just as like what you could really squarely put in the
Like the
horror,
slasher.
it's like my number one is like Friday 2, and then it's like Sleepaway Camp
Sleepaway Camp. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll have to do that.
with the always great Felissa Rose in like one of her only roles. Just like super cool, super fun.
Did you get to meet her or something? Like, how do you?
No, just like
What do you like about her? She only did one movie.
interviews and like just the way she like celebrates the film. And she was on that they brought back Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder.
No.
Okay. They brought back the Joe Bob Briggs at the drive-in thing for Shudder. And they did Sleepaway Camp as one of the movies, and they had Felissa Rose on there. It's just like I've listened to interviews and podcasts with her, and she's cool and great and sweet. I look at her as like I look at like Linda Blair, just like, oh, she's so sweet.
Oh
She's great.
boy, you're so excited talking about anything that's
Not this, right,
movie.
man? God, we've been going for like 25 minutes now, and like I have talked about Child's Play like 4 times.
Yeah, you're really not feeling this.
No, man, I don't know. It's one of those
No,
movies. I guess that's how
it's
you
all
were.
right.
You were like that with Fright Night,
No, you're right. You're right. Friday.
and another Tom Holland movie.
Yeah.
So now you know what the decider's gonna be. We got to watch Thinner.
Is that another?
Tom Holland one, yeah. It's the other one of his like bigger ones, I guess.
Is there another?
It is admittedly like a very minor film. Not
is
very
Chris
well
Sarandon
reviewed.
in that too?
No,
Damn it.
no. This is like the mid to late 90s.
Damn.
Yeah. It's based on a Stephen King book though. The Stephen King book is okay.
What's it called?
Thinner.
Thinner?
Yeah.
Wish I was thinner. Am I right?
Ayo.
Hey.
Is a weight loss podcast now.
Yeah. Hey guys. So what you're gonna want to do now is get up on your feet. Don't care if you're driving.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But is there anything else you wanted to say about this one, man?
Man, no. You know, not really.
You picked it.
Look, I was trying to, throw in a wrench a little bit, get some conflict going on the show. Not so much just agreeing with each other that these movies are good. Get some. I wanted to argue with you, but I think there's just nothing to argue. Especially since I'm not passionate about this movie either. So
It's very middling.
It
We
is.
have to agree on that.
it is. There's so much that could have been done.
Maybe there's stuff in Child's Play 2 and 3 that's going to blow me away. I have not seen Child's Play 2 and 3. So
Right.
maybe there's stuff within those that's
Can't
just
wait.
going to...
Can't wait till we do them.
Eventually. Please give me some space with this.
I'll give you 2 episodes.
Fuck you. We're going to be in the middle of Halloween, and that's what you're going to do? We're going to be right in spooky season?
Yeah,
You're gonna
spooky
watch-
season and just disappointing you.
Ugh.
Wait a minute, you haven't seen them, so we can't even do them.
Oh, yeah, true.
Hey.
Yeah, what the hell? Hey, forgetting the format of the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
But okay, I guess it's time to announce the next one, which I am much, much more excited about than this, and I know you are too.
Oh, baby, I am amp.
Oh boy. Okay, so we've been getting a lot of trailers for the remake of this movie. We've been getting a lot of hype. So we are prepping for the eventual release of the remake with doing our next episode on
Mm-hmm.
Dario Argento's masterpiece, Suspiria.
Suspiria.
Not my favorite Dario Argento. I'm going to say that right now. I love it, but not my favorite Dario Argento.
Huh. That almost makes me more excited to see it.
Yeah.
Because if it's this good and you don't even think that's his best.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not even I like Fulci more than this. So as we dive more into Italian horror, you're just going to see me be like, oh, I love it. Right. It is great. If anybody listened to our Hereditary review, you're going to get a lot out of me anytime we do anything Italian.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Just you drooling.
Just drooling into the microphone.
Well, I'm super excited about Suspiria. Word to the wise, to the listeners. If you didn't really feel like there was much enthusiasm on this episode, it's because there wasn't.
It's better to be fair.
But rest assured, man, next episode, it's going to bring it.
God damn. Can we
I
beat
can't wait till I
our,
hate it.
Our longest our longest episode is like an hour and 5 minutes. Can we top that for Suspiria? I think we could.
I don't know, but
There's a
we're
lot of-
definitely gonna win shortest with this one. I think.
No.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
we're almost
aside
at a
from-
half hour, and then we're gonna have to tack the horror news on top of this. We're gonna definitely be at least
Alright,
like
wait,
45
I was like,
minutes.
Why are you saying these things? They already know.
They already know. Like,
Yeah.
if you like again, just
Unless
for
if you hadn't heard
yeah,
that episode.
yeah, and if you haven't, go back and listen to it,
I don't even know which
whichever one
was.
it is.
But essentially, the cat's out of the bag. We record the intro after doing the actual rest of the show.
If you ever watch Twin Peaks and they're in the Black Lodge and they talk backwards, that's how we do the entire show.
Yeah, we're speaking backwards right now.
Yeah.
That's why whenever I stutter or I make a mistake,
It
it's just
sounds
because
like
I'm
like
trying.
it's like when they're scratching the
yeah,
records back and you hear the demonic. Yeah.
yeah. We're saying really satanic things right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In reality.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
but okay.
Suspiria, man.
Yeah, we're doing Suspiria next. Get
Hey!
pumped. Go find it somewhere, man. There, hopefully everybody gets a chance to see it. I will definitely find out what the easiest outlets are, and I'll post that all over our social media.
And I'll get to watch the trailer for the new one.
Yeah, I haven't
Because
seen it either
I
yet.
haven't seen it, and I'm avoiding it because I don't want any possible spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not a trailer guy. You know me.
Yeah, I know you.
Mm.
I know you.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and to leave us a review if you could. It really helps the show and helps our egos, as always. We are on social media. We are on Twitter at good_suffering. We are on Instagram at Good Suffering Podcast. And we are on Facebook at Good Suffering Pod. Thank you guys so much. And once again, this has been Good Suffering.